This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
The X-Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell is largely an opinion talk show. All opinions, comments, or statements of fact expressed by Rob McConnell's guests are strictly their own and are not to be construed as those of the X-Zone Radio Show or endorsed in any manner by Rob McConnell, Relmar McConnell Media Company, the X-Zone Broadcast Network, its affiliated networks, stations, employees, or advertisers.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X-Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
And welcome to the X-Zone, everyone. I am Rob McConnell, and for the next 4 hours, I am your host. I am your guide as together we cross the time-space continuum to this place that I call the X-Zone. It's a place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard. It's a place where fiction and fiction is reality, and the X-Zone comes to you Monday through Friday from 10 p.m. Eastern until 2 a.m. Eastern, right here on the X-Zone Broadcast Network and our growing family of broadcast affiliates around the world, and on iHeartRadio. If you'd like to send me an email, xzone at xzoneradiotv.com, on all social media sites, X-Zone Radio TV, and to find out about the programming we have available for you 24/7, 365 on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, www.xzbn.net. My guest this hour is Dr. Rajiv Party. He is a world-renowned heart anesthesiologist and was the chief of anesthesiology at Baker's Heart Hospital for more than a decade before having his life-changing near-death experience. Trained in Western medicine, Dr. Party is also a student of Eastern medicine, which has led him to formulate an integrative approach to total wellness. He is a certified coactive coach from the Coaches Training Institute, a Mars Venus coach trained by Dr. John Gray, a certified practitioner, a certified high-performance coach, grief recovery coach with training in trauma work, and a certified mediation instructor from the Chopra University. Joining us now is Dr. Rajiv Party. And Doctor, welcome to the show.
It's my honor to be here.
Thank you very much for joining us. And I was wondering if you could tell us about the life-changing near-death experience you had.
Yeah, the near-death experience I had was in December of 2010. It was during a surgery which was a result of another surgery before where a device was implanted in my body.
Mm-hmm.
But about 10-12 days later, the device got infected and I was going into sepsis. And the only way for it to heal itself with antibiotics is to remove the device out. So during surgery for removing the device, I had the near-death experience.
And when you were having your near-death experience, what did you encounter, sir? What did you see? What did you feel?
Yeah. First of all, I felt myself near the ceiling of the room, and I was wondering what's happening, and I was able to listen to a joke even the anesthesiologist told. And I was in a shock. I thought maybe the anesthesiologist used a drug known as ketamine, which can give a dissociative anesthesia. And when I looked at the record, none of that was used. And from there, I went to different realms. The first realm I went was the realm of hell.
Mm-hmm.
And I was panicking and I was crying for help. And of all the people, my father, who died about 25 years ago, came to my help. And I had a very difficult relationship with him. I didn't know whether he loved me or not. He was physically and mentally abusive to me. But that time I realized he really did love me, but he could not express it himself because he was a result of a partition of India. And I'm sure in modern terms he was suffering from PTSD.
All right, Doctor.
So,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
yeah, from there he led me towards a tunnel. And in tunnel I had a review of my present life. It was like a review where I could feel what the other person was feeling with my actions, good or bad. And I also had a vision of my 2 past lives.
Wow. That was one experience, I'll tell you that. That certainly would shake the very roots of anyone's religious beliefs or their thought about the hereafter or what happens after death. But you and I have to take a commercial break, and we'll talk more about this and much more when we return with our guest this hour, Dr. Rajiv Party. His website is www.theheartbrokendoctor.com. That's www.theheartbrokendoctor.com. And we'll return on the other side of this break as we continue here in the X Zone from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, on the X Zone Broadcast Network and iHeartRadio.
This is the X Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, X-1, Dimension X, Space Patrol, and every minute of the X Zone Broadcast Network by calling 213-401-0080, courtesy of Audio Now. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan, and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 213-401-0080 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember 213-401-0080 for the best of the paranormal, parapsychology, and sci-fi radio programming anywhere, 24/7, 365.
I am Dr. Carl O'Helvey, founder, president of a new cancer foundation focusing on evidence-based physical, mental, and spiritual interventions, including natural cancer cures, prayer, meditation, affirmations, nutrition, and other related holistic cancer prevention and cure modalities. These are used in cancer education, research, and financing care. I ask for your help to continue this important work by donating at www.holisticcancerfoundation.com.
Is it science or is it magic? Once a magical thing has been scientifically proven, is it no longer magic? Or is magic simply the science of tomorrow? Join me, Gwilda Wiyaka, on The Science of Magic, a syndicated radio program dedicated to combining the science and magic of today's dynamic and controversial topics to co-create new solutions. By triangulating information from today's leading experts from the scientific and magical fields, we uncover expansive and evolutionary truths you won't find anywhere else. Join us daily on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, xzbn.net, as I interview the share thoughts with the amazing guests from both science and magic. The resulting knowledge is unprecedented. As a gift to you, the listener, past episodes can be accessed on our website free of charge at thescienceofmagic.net.
Little children aren't the only ones afraid of the dark. Millions of soldiers return from war zones with PTSD, anger, frustration, fear, and loneliness, much of which surfaces during the darkness of the night. You have the chance to change the lives of these American heroes. Songs and Stories for Soldiers.us provides free MP3 players for these men and women. With a list of 3 million songs in 16 different styles, 100,000 audiobooks, and 30,000 old-time radio programs, every veteran can find something to soothe and comfort them at no cost. All our players contain an 8-hour audio program designed to help veterans fall asleep. With 1,500 plus vets now participating, it's our goal to deliver 10,000 audio players this year. Go to our website at songsandstoriesforsoldiers.us. Help us help a veteran make it through the night.
Welcome back to Seek Reality. This is Roberta Grimes. I'm here with two wonderful experts on what I think may be the earliest really true spirituality that there ever has been, and that was the spirituality of the Native Americans, amazingly. I know that will surprise you, but it really doesn't surprise me. So tell us, Adelaide, do you have a story like that too? Did you sort of go away from it and come back?
Well, I was raised traditional. My father was in the boarding schools, taken off the reservation and put into boarding schools, Indian boarding schools, and I'm sure everybody kind of knows the stories behind that of what happened to a lot of the Native Americans in the boarding schools. They tried to break him of his Native American culture and traditions and ceremonies, but he did not let them break him. So when I came around, he ended up. I was raised traditional. I was always raised traditional within the house.
Great.
So my tradition and cultures have always been part of me. The only time that I questioned anything was after my son transitioned in 2015, and for a short period, I just didn't believe in anything because it was just. I mean,
yes.
you have so much belief and so much that the Creator and the Great Spirit will come to can do something, and that your guides and your ancestors can be there. And when that didn't happen, it just put a damper on me for and so I had to turn around and I had to find my way back.
Oh,
that
wow.
was the only time I ever questioned anything.
Well, I love that you in a way I perhaps having to do that may have brought you to a deeper understanding of your spirituality. But what a terrible way to sort of wake up to that when you have lost your child. But I think what you're doing with that, though, is wonderful. Your whole life seems to be now devoted to helping people to understand where he is, and I'm looking forward to your documentary. So please tell us, what do Native peoples believe? The people who were here before Columbus, what do they believe?
And then you want to take that one?
Me?
Yes. Yes.
Well, we have some basic things that I think are shared by most tribes. Not every tribe, but there are 560 tribes in America, but most of them share these basic sort of notions that we are related to every living thing in the world, animals, spirits. We are related to everything in the universe. There's a unity of existence. I think all tribes believe that and practice that. We believe in the strength of the family, the clan, the tribe. That's a very important. It's a social unit, but we believe if that's part of our spiritual strength, our religious strength. We believe in the responsibilities of life, what you are required to do, what you're expected to do, behavior, respect, contributions, work, commitment. And we believe in the omnipresence of spiritual power, not necessarily in the omniscience and the omnipotence of power in the Christian view, but in that in omnipresence that the spiritual realities and powers are everywhere in everything. So it's a kind of a unity of existence that informs our larger worldviews.
Wow, that's beautiful. Do you believe in a God entity? You talk about the Great Spirit. How does that relate to what people think of as God?
For me personally, I believe that the Great Spirit is also God. I believe that God is also the Great Spirit, but I don't believe that the God that, as I refer to God, is the God that's depicted in art, the Christian God that
right.
It's painted beautifully by Michelangelo and all those people.
Yes.
I believe that the Great Spirit looks like maybe my grandfather or one of my uncles or a senior member of our tribe that personified. That's what the Great Spirit to me would look like. And it's a kind, gentle, benevolent, caring person that does not punish us. This does not threaten us. Does not oversee us in a negative way. That's there to support us and guide us.
I'm sure all over the place, in every car where people are driving, listening to this, everybody is sighing now and thinking what it was we've lost. Because what you are talking about is much closer to what the dead, or those we used to think were dead, tell us. We come to think God never, in fact, they insist that God never takes a body. But yeah, if he took a body, I'd rather have it look like your grandfather, I have to say. Mm-hmm. Now, ceremony is very big among Native Americans, and it has a spiritual significance. Can we talk a little about that?
Well, ceremony is the basic structure of all aspects of life. Ceremony is like an architect's the structure, the framework of everything, and ceremony is an event. And life is a large event. The largest event is our life. The largest event is the ongoing existence of the world and humankind. That is a ceremony in and of itself, and we are part of that ceremony. And the things that we do to establish our presence and to maintain our presence and our harmony and our safety and security and happiness within that larger framework are ceremonies. And ceremonies can last a moment, they can last 15 minutes, they can last an hour, they can last afternoon, a day, a situational creation of something that commemorates something that tries to illuminate, educate, and explore and understand and experience the reality in life. That's a ceremony, and we're all involved in ceremonies continually throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month, throughout the years.
So basically what you're saying is that Native Americans are aware of that ceremonial aspect of the things they're doing, whereas we may not be aware of it. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I think that I believe, I've come to believe that American Indians are connected with ceremonial. We are connected to our tribes and to our families and to the universe and to the life force ceremonially. Our drums are the sound, the force, the rhythm, the energy that connects us to that. It helps us to sort of dial into the source of the mystery of life, the power of life, the strength of life, and it keeps us attuned. And if we maintain those connections, and they have to be maintained, but they don't just happen to us because we want them to happen. We have to work for it and make it happen. If we maintain them, then we can achieve happiness. We can achieve safety. We can achieve prosperity. We can achieve good things if we are connected properly, ceremonially, to the core thing that animates life itself.
Wow. And you say that creativity is actually a spiritual enterprise. So you're a very creative man, and I know, Adelaide, you're very creative in your own work, but that's spiritual to you, right? Spirituality infuses it. Addie, talk about that.
Yes, I believe spirituality is part of it, and it's Hanay said it's a free gift that was given to us. He can go into that more, but no matter what we do, we put our intention out there, and we turn around, and the universe and the spirituality that we're under turns around and gives it back to us. We put the intention out there, and how you want to say that is it the universe or spirit comes and helps, guides us.
Yes, and that's so true. See, that's what I love about what you're saying. I can relate separately just from my own research and from the people that we've had here who talk about spirituality, the genuine spirituality. You are much closer to it than any modern religion is. So I get it. I think this is exciting to hear.
And we quiet ourselves. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Hanay.
Go ahead, Hanay.
When I was young, again, going back to my youth, spirituality to me it was filtered to the Christian mindset, and spirituality meant being in church, being reverent, being holy, the spirits of the Great Spirit, Jesus, all of that somehow combined to a identification of something spirituality. As I have grown older and tried to understand life and explored life and studied life, I have come to now think that spirituality is not necessarily something that is human or that it's in a person. Spirituality is our thoughts. Spirituality is our feelings, our emotions, our concerns, our needs that we articulate and express in ceremony, through songs, through oration, through verbally, through dance. Spirituality is not necessarily of a physical substance.
No, you are so right. I just love this to pieces. Spirituality is everything we are.
Everything.
The one place there really isn't spirituality, ironically, is in Christian churches, because they're not following Jesus. Jesus was the essence of spirituality in his teachings. He would much better like what you talk about than what Christians talk about, which is so ironic. But yeah, thank you. This is beautiful. What do you want people most to know about Native American thinking? That what resonates with you most from these this life you're living now? What does it do for you?
Gary, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead, Hanay. I was.
The longer I live in the world and the longer I experience the blessing of life, the humbler I want to be, the simpler I want to be, the less I want to have. And that's a lot of people have expressed that in different philosophies and different approaches to life and lifestyles. But I think that aesthetic aspiration is a reality. That you find peace, you find fulfillment, you find a reason in your life in other people, in helping other people and doing for other people, and knowing that you're doing that, knowing that you're fulfilling the responsibilities that you have, that your tribe expects for you, that the world expects for you, that the Creator expects for you. If you know that you're doing these things and you know that you're making the effort to do these things and that you actually are achieving some of them, that's the blessing in life. That's what life is. This does not occur in having tons of money or mansions or cars or wealth. Or the wealth is in the happiness of being able to take care of your family, being able to take care of to honor the memories of your relatives who passed on, to have that peaceful balance with life, to enjoy the beauty of the sunset and to look at the moon and connect to all of everything that's connected. That if you can get to that, I'm not talking about nirvana. I'm talking about the reality, the physical reality of the life that we're in. Then I think that you've lived your life pretty much along the right kind of lives the right kind of way. So that to me is,
everyone, we're going to have to take a break now, but I just want everyone to go back and listen again to what Hanay said. That is the very essence of how it feels to be a spiritually advanced being. And that is where living as Native Americans live will lead us. I've never heard a Christian talk like that, and I don't think I ever will until they come out of the fear-based religion that unfortunately Jesus did not start. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
How would you like to be able to read other people's minds? Well, the next best thing is here. When you know how to read a person's name, you know how the person thinks, feels, and behaves. Each letter in our name holds a key to unlock our true essence. Our name contains both our gifts and challenges in this lifetime. Mnemology science discovers personality secrets hidden in the placement of the letters of our names, including the first and last impression people remember about us. Sharon shows us how to interpret the arrangement of letters as outlined in her book, Know the Name, Know the Person. Sharon Lynn Wyeth created mnemology science after 18 years of research and testing her theories, and has supported thousands of people around the world in understanding themselves and others better. You'll enjoy Sharon's unique teachings as she shares her system to learn the gifts behind your given birth name. Even if you don't like your birth name, there are jewels in this book. If you're thinking of changing your name, ready to name your child, or wanting to get along better with others, this is the book for you. If you'd like to improve your relationships and change your life for the better, get the book today, Know the Name, Know the Person, or visit www.knowthename.com. That's www.knowthename.com.
Hello, I'm Justina Marsh, and with my dad Pete, we are going to present a new show called Too Good to Be True. Together, we are aiming to discover more truths about this world and beyond. Do you have unanswered questions about the world? Do you ever wonder about aliens, conspiracy theories, or the universe? There are many shows discussing subjects such as pyramids or UFOs, but we want to relay this information based on our own research, including from spiritual means. Hopefully, listeners will be helped with their own beliefs and will appreciate the psychic insights that add to the previous research and information. We both look forward to sharing this insight and beginning this journey with our listeners. Visit xzbn.net for more information about when to listen.
Ancient prophecies, legends, and current events indicate we're entering a high-frequency era supporting enlightenment. During expansive times, old rules fail, necessitating access to the ever-shifting currents of life for guidance. There's an ancient form of shamanism through which we can obtain the information we need. I'm Gwilda Wieka, founder and director of Path Home Shamanic Art School, with a great new provision for those interested in spiritual evolution and personal empowerment. Galactic Shamanism, Art of the Ancients, Key to Tomorrow, is an upcoming series of leading-edge online affordable classes designed to guide and support you and your family during these times of transition. Embrace the magic. Empower your life. Study Galactic Shamanism at findyourpathhome.com.
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
Dear friends, welcome back to Seek Reality. This is Roberta Grimes, and I'm here with Adelaide Wolf and Hanay Geiogamah. Oh, yes, Geiogamah. Okay. I mean, it's not spelled that way, so I have had to try to learn his name. This is, to me, a wonderful thing. I didn't know what they were going to say to you today. We didn't practice anything, but I only knew from that story that I read of something that happened in the afterlife, more than 100 years ago now. I only knew from that and from other things I've seen here and there that Native American spirituality really is extraordinary, and it's much, much closer to what reality is and what the people who we used to think were dead tell us is true. So this is beautiful. I'm so glad you're both with us. Now, but Adelaide, you said at one point to me that spirituality should be free, and people who are not Native American are usurping it and charging for it. You were pretty outraged. Talk about that.
Yeah, I think that's one thing. I think that I wish people would open their minds up to and really research it. If you look more and more, non-natives have borrowed, taken a lot of our ceremonies, our traditions, our beliefs, and they have cultivated it and made it under their own, but still under the title of Native American cultures and traditions. Yet they have not done the research, and they really do not know what the intentions are, the purposes are, the respect that goes into it, and that we believe and that we're born with our whole life between the tribe and our family and our clans, but yet they are out there and they are commercializing it. And with the commercializing it, they're also putting a price tag on it. I believe Hanay said it best when we were talking one day, and, he said, our tribal ancestors didn't pay for the blessings of spirituality. Why should we?
He's right. No, he's right. And what I would think, too, is they probably then are looking at form. This is the way to do the dance, or this is the way to say the prayer, and not at the spirituality behind it, if they have such little understanding.
Right.
Is that true?
Yeah. Exactly. They put the cart before the horse, and not because they don't know. It's just because instinctively they do that. What Addie was saying reminded me when I was being introduced to my tribe's tribal religion, its traditional tribal religion. The priest, the person that was in charge of that, the medicine person, a wonderful senior in our tribe. He was very happy to meet me because he knew that I was from one of the grandmother families in our tribe, and so as I got to know him, I felt he's doing so much for me. I really need to compensate him. I need to give him something. I need to do something to pay him to show him how much I appreciate what he's doing for me and teaching me. And I didn't have money. I was young and I was in college and I was. I just didn't have money, but instinctively I knew that wasn't the right thing to do. What I found out that the way that you compensate a person like that in tribal tradition, you take them, say, 5 pounds of a nice roast from the store, take them some nice meat, take them some packages of cigarettes or Bull Durham tobacco to roll cigarettes. You take him maybe a bottle of Men's shaving lotion for himself, or put on himself, and that's all he wanted. He didn't even expect that, but that was respectful, proper compensation, not money, not horses, not things of wealth, just a personal expression of gratitude that showed that you cared, and that your communication with him meant something to you, and that to me, I've kept that. So if you want something, if you want to reward somebody for helping you, you do it simply and humbly. It doesn't have to be some lavish gift, or you certainly don't buy it. You don't purchase it at all.
Yeah, that is so many of the things that you said resonated with me. What's a grandmother tribe? What did you call that? You're from a grandmother family. Is that it? What was that all about?
The Kiowa tribe. Our tribal religion is called the grandmothers. Actually, there were 10 medicine bundles, and together they were collectively referred to as the grandmothers. So the grandmothers were a collection of medicine bundles, and 10 different families kept the bundles. And my grandfather was actually had one of the bundles. Was one of the families that had the bundles, and they were hereditary. And my grandfather, when he was alive, he was the actual keeper. He maintained care and the well-being of all the bundles. So he was like the kind of central person in the tribal religion. But then they were Christianized. This was in the 1900s, 1910s. And my grandfather was Christianized, and then my uncle, my father, my uncle and aunts were Christianized, and they were really Christianized. So that stopped that, and we weren't able to get that fully revived in our family until starting in the late 1950s and 1960s. It took that long to get that reactivated back into our family and our beliefs and our religion.
Oh my goodness! But that it's such a tragedy. I mean, so much the earliest Europeans, just always assumed what they had was better, but it truly, in this case, was not. Where spirituality is concerned, they were in the Dark Ages, and you were the enlightened ones. So, Adelaide, why do you think that people will do this for money, will try to usurp your beliefs? Do you have any ideas? And teach them and charge for them?
I think it basically boils down to commercialism, and it's a way of making a quick buck for a lot of them. Unfortunately, I think that is it. They sit there and they see, and again, as we're talking, that a lot of people feel that Native Americans have a base foundation root from the time we enter Earth, that we have that spirituality within us, that we are connected to Mother Earth, we are connected to the animals, the plants, because we feel all of them are a part of the universe. We are a part of them, they are a part of us. Even, whether you want them to call it the Creator, the Great Spirit, Wakanda, or God, God is in within all of us. God is in with all the animals, all the plants, every living being. And with that is our base foundation belief. That is
Yes.
I think they see that and they think Native Americans have that base root, and people like that, and they start taking from it, and they see that they can commercialize it and they can make money off of it.
So they think somehow they're going to usurp what you have without understanding what it is. And because it seems to what people want. Yeah, that is probably exactly right, Ed. That is pretty tragic, I must say.
And what's really sad about that is that they only do it just for, it's like a very short-lived kind of thing. Well, if you go into a sweat lodge, you'll be for about 30 minutes or 40 minutes, 50 minutes after you come out, you'll feel nice and happy. But then that goes away, and then what do you do? So what they don't understand is that things like what we're doing now, Roberta, sharing this with you and talking about it, if people would invest an hour of their time, 2 hours of their time a week to understand the kinds of things we're talking about, it's not that inaccessible, it's not that difficult to gain knowledge of and to become aware of. If they would do that kind of thing, they would see that they don't have to buy these things. These things are there for them to adapt.
It's for free. Yes.
For free, exactly, and it's not. There's no superiority. We're not better than anybody. All this is available to everybody in the world if they just would make the effort, take the time to understand it, to incorporate it into your mind, into your heart. It doesn't take that long. But the world moves so fast today that people just don't have time to do that. So they think that they can purchase it. They think that they can buy prayers and buy blessings and things like that, and buy knowledge, spiritual knowledge. And I think it's a sad aspect of contemporary life.
I think you're totally right. Spirituality is not mechanical. There are no shortcuts. It is a way of life. And if someone lives it their whole life, they get to be where you are, Hanay. That's how they think. That's how they feel. And there's happiness at that level, which is unlike any other happiness on earth. To be truly spiritually advanced makes you the happiest you can possibly be. And what's wonderful about this is all of us who are researching the afterlife and the greater reality, and in my case specifically, the teachings of Jesus and the fact that he didn't come to start a religion at all, he even said so. All of it's converging. We and you and all these people who are trying to find the truth are finding the same truth. There is one truth, and that truth is what your people have been living for 1,000 years or something. This is just wonderful. I'm so happy that we're talking about this. Let's talk a little bit. We have a few minutes just in this segment, then we'll go into the next. Let's talk about how Native Americans view the afterlife.
Okay, you want to start that one?
The afterlife is actually just a cool extension of the life that we're in now. It's not an end aspect. It's not the finish. It's not the end. It's moving on to the next spiritual level of existence, and it has its own beauties. It has its own realities. It has its own rhythms and energies, and it's just right next to us. I think of my sisters that have passed on. I think of my mother and father, almost as if they're just right on the other side of the air to me. They're there, and they speak to me in their gentle voices, and they guide me, and they help me, and they're instinctively in me. So I don't think of them as being gone or done or ended or over. They're still there. They're just not right here immediately. But they have continued on in the beautiful power of life in the universe, and we have access to that, and it's actually a very positive and good part of the larger experience of life, the afterlife.
So when people are making their transitions, you have ceremonies and things. You don't weep at the bedside. You know they're going to stay with you. They just won't have their bodies. How do people handle that in the Native American tradition?
Well, Native Americans, because of the influences of Christianity, particularly throughout the first half of the 20th century, we adopted a lot of the eschatological practices of Christianity. We bury our people in caskets, and we do this. We have funeral services, Christian funeral services. A lot of Indian funerals now still include mixtures of Christian elements in the ceremony, but now more than 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Now they are mixtures of both traditional and Christian. And because the Christian realities, they haven't just completely gone away. A lot of it's still there, but respectfully, they are blended with traditional prayers, traditional songs, traditional orations of respect, and that I think is, for me, that I'm very, very happy that has happened, because it connects you. If it's a tribal member, it means that person is still within the tribe. It's not left the tribe. It's still a tribe.
Hanay, I'm sorry, we have to take another break, but we will be right back. This is Roberta Grimes on Seek Reality.
Thank you.
The Earth is under ever-increasing pressure from untenable lifestyles and growing populations. Yet, viable answers seem in short supply. What if I told you there's an ancient form that can empower you to take charge of your life? What if your entire family could be enfolded and supported by life itself, Finding Safe Passage Through Challenging Times. I'm Gwilda Wiyaka, founder and director of Path Home Shamanic Art School, with great news. An upcoming series of leading-edge online affordable classes based in an ancient form of shamanism, easily learned and used by your entire family. Galactic Shamanism, Art of the Ancients, Key to Tomorrow are a series of online adult and children's lessons instructing your entire family on natural law, how to cooperate with and be supported by the powers of the universe. Visit findyourpathhome.com to find these unique and powerful classes.
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X-Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, X-1, Dimension X, Space Patrol, and every minute of the X-Zone Broadcast Network by calling 213-401-0080, courtesy of Audio Now. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan, and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 213-401-0080 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember 213-401-0080 for the best of the paranormal, parapsychology, and sci-fi radio programming anywhere, 24/7, 365.
Are you curious? Do you want to learn more about how the world works and have fun at the same time? Study coincidences with me, Dr. Bernie Beitman, MD, on my Connecting with Coincidence radio show, here on the XZBN network. Listen to Jungians theorize, statisticians randomize, true believers evangelize, while I categorize. I dance to the rhythm of coincidences. People who experience me see more of them. Maybe something on the show matches a thought in your mind. Let us know. Expand your mind to the weirdness happening around you. Synchronicity spoken here, there, and everywhere. For more information, put Connecting with Coincidence in your search engine and find my website, my social media sites, and my blog.
What is truth? Historically, we viewed things as either being true or false. Now, as we enter a more expansive era, we find the question is not, is it true, but rather, how true is it? I'm Gwilda Wiyaka, host of The Science of Magic Radio, a syndicated, internationally broadcast radio program dedicated to uncovering this ever-expanding truth. Join me daily on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, xzbn.net, as I interview today's leading experts from the fields of science and magic to uncover the hidden truth between the lines drawn in the sand. What we unearth in our discussions is not only amazing, but totally unprecedented. You won't want to miss a single episode. In service to our listeners, past episodes can always be found on our website with our compliments at thescienceofmagic.net.
Everyone, welcome back to Seek Reality with Roberta Grimes and my two wonderful guests who are teaching us about Native American spirituality, which is much greater and deeper than any Christian, possible Christian tradition. And you were talking about during the break, Hanay, a bit about ceremony. What was the thought you had?
In order to try to communicate this and share this with as many people as we can, as we said earlier, I work in the theater, and I've worked in Native American theater, films and television and theater, live theater. I'm the founding artistic director of the American Indian Dance Theater, and we have a production company called Hanay Mountain Entertainment, and we put together a spectacle show for the live theater called Ceremonies of Mother Earth, A Healing. It addresses the ecological crisis that all of us on this planet are now facing, the destruction of our environment, the possible death of our planet. And it approaches this, it theatricalizes and dramatizes this through Native American dance, Native American music, Native American performance, Native American ceremonial performance, and spirituality. And as an example of this, the piece is set up, created to show how the destructive forces attacking our environment can be confronted and combated with the use of song, the power of song, collective song, the powers of our drums, the powers of our faith together as a group, as a unit, as a tribe, the powers of our beliefs and our commitments, and these are all dramatized to show how these strengths, these abilities of human beings, as personified in Native Americans, can be put to use in combating the crisis that of the environment, to save our world, to protect our world, to heal our world, and then revive it and maintain it healthily and properly. So this show, Ceremony for Mother Earth, Healing, will communicate all of this to audiences, hopefully around the country and around the world, where it's in pre-production now.
It's in pre-production. Wow. So, where how would people learn more about that? Does it have a website?
Yes, there's a website. There's a website at AmericanIndianDance.org has it, and there's a website for Ceremony for Mother Earth, and also. Go ahead, Ali. Yes.
Oh, no, and then I was going to say they could also go to contact us directly is at RainyMountainEntertainment.com.
Yes.
RainyMountainEntertainment.com. Okay.
Yep.
Wow. So you are deep in spreading this message then, and I just love it. I mean, that you're doing it in a popular American way, so people will go and listen and learn. That will be fabulous. How would people contact you if they want to know more? Do you have personal websites?
Well, what we do is they can contact our email to contact Hanay, myself, or even Kim. Is the email is RainyMountainEnt@gmail.com.
Is it EM as in Michael T or EN as in Nancy?
ENT, yeah. E as in elephant, N as in Nancy, T as in Tom. It's a short
entertainment.
Rainy Mountain. It was too long to put it out.
Right. So it's RainyMountainEntertainment.com, and that's how people can reach you.
Right.
Okay,
and then they'll go there, and then our email to get a hold of us is RainyMountainEnt@gmail.com.
Okay. Well, I think it's very important for Americans to develop a certain amount of humility about our history, because although we didn't participate in some of the horrendous things that were done by Europeans 100, 200, 300 years ago, still, we inherit what they did as what we need to deal with. And I'm hoping that one of the things that we'll start to do is pay much more attention to the value of what Native Americans accomplished, and the value of their lives were actually very advanced. They don't look advanced to primitive Europeans who arrive in 1701, but they were very advanced and in quite a beautiful way of life, and tremendous health too. I think that's another thing that people don't understand. Native peoples had perfect teeth without a dentist, and very, very healthy bodies.
No cancer, no diabetes, none of that, because we had the diets and the lifestyles that promoted that. The spirituality, everybody alive has spirituality in them, and it's working even now, even in everybody. It's your thoughts, it's your hopes, it's your dreams, it's your prayers. That's your spirituality, and the more that you activate that, the more that you support that and respect that and make it something good in your life and for you and other people. That then you are increasing your the spirituality in your life, and it's not at all difficult for people to do.
No, that's a very good point.
I think it's service. As Hanay said, it's service. You go out to help others as well. That's part of the intent, and you do it from the goodness of your heart to turn around and help others and not expect anything in return for it.
I think that it's very important people understand this point you're making, which is religion is all about form. You say the prayer, you got to go there at a certain time, you do this, you do that, you give money. It's all form. It doesn't touch you inside. All of this spirituality that we're beginning to practice now with the teachings of Jesus, and also probably fundamentally the Native American spirituality, is all about transforming you inside. And that's what we're here to do. That is the reason. That the dead tell us that's why we come. We come to grow spiritually. And I would think it's probably the most efficient thing that one could do to grow spiritually would be to learn more about these Native American traditions and practices and beliefs. So it's wonderful that the two of you are doing this for all of us, that you're giving your time and your talents to preserving what was almost lost. When they, as you said,
I would say back to you, just meeting you here on this interview, and listening to the wonderful things you said. I said the same thing back to you. Thank you so much for being a communicator of these things, and for articulating them in a nice, clear, respectful, positive way that you've done so. I really think it's wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Bless you, dear. I think we have wonderful things we're going to do together. I'm looking forward to that. And it's been so good of you both to be here. We will have to do this again. I'm sure people are going to ask for it and talk even more about the true spirituality that Native Americans had and have almost lost, but now it's coming back again, and it's frankly the same spirituality that Jesus taught. So this is very exciting. Please consider yourselves both hugged, and we will talk again really soon.
Thank you so much, Roberta.
A big hug to you, too. Thank you. And a hug to all the people listening.
That's true. We group hug everybody quickly. Okay. That's done. Thank you so much. Everyone, this has been Seek Reality with Roberta Grimes, and I'm so glad you could join us. This has been so spectacular. Never forget that you are a powerful, eternal being. You never began, you never will end. And when you really get what that means, it's really going to change everything in your life for the better. Next week, our guest will be Joyce Stewart. Joyce is a counselor and healer. She's been here once before, and she's come back because I have been trying to figure out how to share with you what was really one of the most formative things I ever did spiritually, and that is A Course in Miracles. I have not found a good Course in Miracles teacher until Joyce started to send me her emails that she sends to everyone, and I thought, wow, she's the one to make this work. So she's going to join us next week, and we're going to talk about A Course in Miracles, getting down to the basics of it, helping you understand how it can help you, and helping you figure out how to get started with it. She does a wonderful job of making this beautiful and essential work of wisdom accessible to regular people, and I think you're going to love this, so please join us. Of course, our guests this week have been Hanay Geiogamah. I'm sorry, it's spelled differently than it's pronounced, and my friend Adelaide Wolf. And it really saddens me, and I'll bet it saddens you to realize that when the first Europeans settled here, they replaced the more advanced native teachings with, frankly, the off-track, fear-based teachings of Christianity. What was lost then is being restored now, and wonderfully, we are all coming together because what they believed, we are coming to understand is true. We say it in a slightly different way, but it's all at its core the same concept. So you're going to see over the next 20, 30 years all these true spiritualities coming together into one truth, a universal truth that we all can espouse. As you know, my nonfiction books are Liberating Jesus, My Thomas, The Fun of Dying, The Fun of Staying in Touch, The Fun of Growing Forever, The Fun of Living Together, and for young children now, The Fun of Meeting Jesus. If you'd like to talk about any of my books or just talk to me at all, don't hesitate to go to robertagrimes.com and contact me through the contact block. I do answer emails. It takes a little longer than a day, though. It used to be something I could do right away. Past episodes of Seek Reality are available on webtalkradio.net, on iTunes, through the Seek Reality app that you can find for free on the iTunes store, and also at Dream Vision 7 Radio, where they broadcast our older episodes. If you enjoy listening and you want to find another place to hear Seek Reality, just go to the radio tab at robertagrimes.com. Meanwhile, this has been Seek Reality with Roberta Grimes. Please enjoy and make the most of this coming week in our one reality, knowing that you are a powerful, eternal being and you are infinitely loved.